Hey, welcome back to another episode of DreamTripAus, the big lap. We're taking a detour off the main road today and heading south from Kununurra down to the Bungle Bungles. We are fresh off the Gibb River Road and we've just dropped off the caravan at a roadhouse along the way so that we can get into a remote national parks camp called Wooladi Campground for our first night at the Bungle Bungles. We've got 2 nights here and then after this we head back up. We've got 2 more nights at Lake Argyle. So stay tuned, plenty of action to be had, some beautiful places to see, rock and roll. Cool, so we've just turned off the Great Northern Highway on the turnout and the track heading towards the Bungle Bungles. We've still got another 60 odd Ks to go, but it does turn to a dirt track and there are big signs up everywhere saying 4-wheel drive only, no large caravans, so on and so forth. So, like I mentioned before, we dropped our caravan off at a roadhouse along the way and we've got the swags on the roof, so we're going full off-grid, minimised, remote camping style next couple of nights. Anyway, we've just hit the track, so we aired down. We're going to run the same pressures that we did on the Gibb River Road because it worked a treat, you know. We're running 30 on the front and 35 on the rear, but if you want more info on that, definitely jump onto our YouTube channel and check out the Gibb River Road episodes. Anyway, they reckon it's going to take 2 hours to get to camp and that's 60 kilometers away, so it must be a pretty serious track. But we'll show you all the action on the way in and we'll show you our campsite once we get in there, show you what it's all about. Rock and roll. Well, they weren't lying about the track. We're about halfway in, or we've got 30 kilometers to go to get to camp, and it's taken us an hour to do the first 30 Ks. We've probably been through, I don't know, maybe 10, 12 creek crossings. There's a lot of sharp rocks and some pretty seriously rutted bits, not to mention the corrugations too. So look, we haven't gone into low range. We haven't needed to, but the cruiser I think is all-wheel drive anyway, so you could probably get away with it in an all-wheel drive, but you're definitely going to need a capable vehicle to get into here. Oh yeah, how's this track? Bumpy, rough, wet, bit muddy, rocky, but we got the queen of off-road here. Oh yeah, DreamTripAus, hey, we love it. Well, we're 2 kilometers out from the campground now and the sun is really quickly going down behind us. It is spectacular, but it's lighting up these ranges. I don't know if you can see, it is getting dark, but we'll see what I can capture, hey? I can't wait to explore this place tomorrow. Anyway, I'll get some footage of us setting up camp and we'll have some dinner and we'll see you in the morning for a big day of adventure at the Bungle Bungles. Rock and roll. Good morning. We had just the most beautiful night last night at the Wallardy campground. It was so peaceful, but boy was it cold. We were not prepared for the cold. We've been so used to the heat up here in the northwest, but being out here in the bush is much cooler at night, so be sure if you're coming out here to prepare for that. Anyway, we are up nice and early this morning. It's 10 to 7 and we've got heaps on. We're in the south end of the national park. There's the south end and the north end. There seems to be a bunch of stuff to do in the south and a bunch of stuff to do in the north, and so we're going to hit the south. There's a 10-kilometre walk that we're going to try and hit today called Whippersnake Gorge, which should also include the famed Cathedral and of course a view of the domes. So we're going to get cracking and we'll see you in there for all the action. Rock and roll. Oh, I tell you what, we have just pulled into the car park of the trailhead to Whippersnake Gorge, the domes, the cathedral, all of that sort of stuff, and nothing could have prepared me for how beautiful this place is. I am simply awestruck. Check it out. I've never seen anything like this. This is spectacular. Really, if you're in the northwest and you've done the Gib or you're doing the Great Northern Highway, I know it's a bit of a detour and the track is a bit rough, but make the effort, take the time and come here. This place is mind-blowing, just mind-blowing, and we're only in the car park. Anyway, we're going to get all sunscreened up, geared up. We've made lunch, we've packed heaps of water. We're keen as to get cracking on this track. We'll see you in there. Rock and roll. Alright, so there's heaps of options here. There's the Domes Walk, which is just a 700-metre loop. Then Cathedral Gorge, which is a definite must-do. But we are going to push today all the way, hopefully, Whippersnake Gorge. 10 kilometres return. So we'll start here at the car park. We go up. We're going to go push through all the way through, try to get all the way out to Whippersnake Gorge before making our way back and stopping in at the various stops along the way. It's going to be a big day.
In a daze, afraid, turn the page, stop, look and listen what media say, real or fake, anyway, life is what you make it, but the building's burning down, and people rush out, while jumping out of windows, but there is no need to save them now, so settle down, while you just watch, you must be out of your head. I guess I'm out of my head too. You must be out of your head. I guess we make a good pair too. You must be that hates anyway. Life is what you make it, but the building's burning down and people rush out while jumping out of windows, but there is no need to save them now. So settle down while you just watch. You must be out of your head. I guess I'm out of my head too. You must be out of your head. I guess we make a good pair too. You must be out of your head. I guess I'm out of my head too. You must be out of your head. I must be out of my head too. You're going out of your. You must be out of your. You must be out of your. You must be out of your.
Wow, this is just spectacular. If you're ever here at the Bungle Bungles and you're looking at the Whip Snake Gorge walk, 10-kilometre return, do not be deterred. It's an easy walk. It's not a lot of rock hopping or anything like that. It's pretty flat. Look, a fair bit of it is in the sun, but at the end when you hop in the gorge and you're in the shade, it's worth every step. It is spectacular. Check it out.
I must be out of my head too. You must be out of your head. I guess we make a good pair too. You must be out of your head. I must be out of my head too. You must be out of your head. I must be out of my head. My head. You're going out of your. You must be out of your. You must be out of your. You must be out of your.
Oh, how cool is it in the shade? Wow, it's beautiful in here. Oh, just stumbling into the beginnings of Cathedral Gorge, and it is magic. But not only that, it's got to be 10 degrees cooler at least. It is gorgeous.
How do you reckon would help you become
Beautiful place, isn't it?
Yeah.
Huh? Cathedral Gorge. Unbelievable. Wow, Cathedral Gorge. I tell you what, it got busy when some of the buses were in, but we just stuck around. It's about 2:30 and everyone cleared out. We had the whole place to ourselves for a good 15-20 minutes, I reckon. So hot tip, stick around, just wait for everyone to clear out. Then you can really hear the acoustics of the place, which was one of the most astonishing things I thought about Cathedral Gorge itself. But anyway, we're on the Domes Trail loop now. It's only a 400 metre loop, and then we're back at the car park. We'll see you tomorrow. We're going to explore the rest of the park, the north end of the park. There's plenty more to see, including Echidna Chasm, which looks spectacular. Hey, good morning, alright. It's our second day at the Bungle Bungles or Purnululu National Park, and we've packed up camp this morning. We've got the swags back on the roof, and we're making our way to the north end of the park. It's about a 28-kilometre drive on this corrugated dirt track, so it could take up to an hour to get there. There'll probably be some creek crossings and things like that on the way too. In fact, we're just about to go through a little one. There's a bunch of lookouts along the way, but the main attraction up there is Echidna Chasm, which looks sensational. It's a really narrow gorge that's supposed to look spectacular once the sun hits it. It's really the driving factor for today, because there's a time frame. You've got to get there when the sun's nice and high, which at this time of the year is about 10:30, 11 o'clock in the morning. So we're going to try and squeeze in some lookouts and maybe some other little walks along the way, hit Echidna, and then we might just shoot out and make our way to Lake Argyle. So stay tuned for all the lookouts, beautiful scenery and adventures today. Rock and roll. Cool, so we've just lobbed into the car park of the Echidna Chasm walk, which is really well appointed. There's toilets here, there's some shaded picnic tables and stuff as well. It's a big car park, so I assume it's going to get quite busy, particularly at that peak time when the sun is right overhead and you get the perfect light into the chasm. There is Osmond Lookout here, which is about a 200 metre return. There is the chasm itself, which to get to the start of the chasm is a 1.4 kilometre return walk with some scrambling over rocks, and then to walk the chasm, the entire chasm to the end, is another 2 kilometres. So not too difficult, but we're just going to chill out for a bit and have some snacks before we make the start. We did a lot of walking yesterday, so the kids aren't too keen to keep pushing, but we got to do it. We're only here once. Then with the rest of the day, we're probably going to make our way back through Kununurra, do some groceries, maybe even hit the cinema there. They've got an open air cinema, and then make our way, maybe even free camp on our way into Lake Argyle at the end of the day. Anyway, I'm going to get some snacks before they're all gone. Oh, this place is so cool. I've never seen anything like it. There's all these palm trees growing in the bottom of this valley that are super tall, obviously reaching up to the sun. It's so different. I've never seen anything like it. It's really cool. This place just keeps blowing my mind. Really. Purnululu National Park, Echidna Chasm. Spectacular. I can't wait for the sun to poke through. Unreal. Look at this. 180 meters deep, this chasm. I believe it. Well, that's it, hey? Unreal. You can see there's a big rock fall behind me there. So that's the end of the trail. Oh, wow. There's a couple up overhead too, look at this. Geez, you wouldn't want to be down here when they come crashing down, hey? Anyway, we're going to go back and see if we can find ourselves a spot to capture the light of the sun coming down into the chasm. There seems to be one particular spot, a couple hundred meters back, that will make for an epic photo. So we'll try and get back down and get a spot, but apparently it gets really busy in here. And I don't doubt it, this place is spectacular. Anyway, we'll make our way back out. Wow, this is just unbelievable. It's impossible to capture this sheer scale of this place. It's just unimaginable. It's so special. What an awesome place. Alright, we have had just the best time exploring the Purnululu National Park and everything that the Bungle Bungles has to offer. What an amazing place. Really just some of the most breathtaking scenery, and different, completely different, like nothing else I've ever seen. Definitely worth the detour. It's if you're coming off the highway or off the Gibb River Road, it's about a 5-hour detour if you're heading west to east or east to west, but well worth the detour. The track in off of the Great Northern Highway is a bit rough, so we're very glad that we dropped our caravan off before going in. But we're now heading out. We're going to spend tonight in a free stop, which is actually just, would you believe, just over the border into the Northern Territory. But it's a short drive from that free camp onto Lake Argyle, which we'll be heading to first thing in the morning for some epic adventures. Can't wait to see that place. Anyway, we'll see you at Lake Argyle. Rock and roll. Hey, good morning. Alright, as promised, today we are hitting Lake Argyle. Super pumped. So last night we stopped in Kununurra, did some groceries and slipped across the Northern Territory border to a free camp just on the side of the road. It's on Wiki Camps, not far across, maybe 10 k's across the Northern Territory border. So this morning we're headed back across the border into WA, and so we just had to make sure this morning that we didn't have any prohibited fruit and veg and that kind of stuff. You know, chop up, peel our onions, all those kinds of things in preparation for crossing back into Western Australia, which we are just coming up on the border now. I don't know if they're going to be open, if the quarantine area will be open, but we'll see. Anyway, we're not far off. It's probably about 30 k's, I think, off down the turn off to Lake Argyle. So it shouldn't be long before we're having some adventures on the lake.
I'm excited.
Hey, where are we, guys?
Lake Argyle!
Oh, they're terrible at this. Anyway, we'll see you down there. How good's this, hey? Right out the front of the Argyle, the Lake Argyle Resort or Caravan Park, or whatever you want to call it. There's a free dump point and water fill up point, and we spoke to the people inside and they're like, yep, just if you want to drive down to the dam, because they don't allow caravans down the hill, just unhook out the front. So here we are, we've unhitched, we grabbed the paddle boards out of the tunnel boot, and we're going to go explore Lake Argyle, rock and roll. Oh, it's a pretty spectacular place. We've got some pretty good lakes where we're from in Victoria, but this is pretty spectacular. Keen to see, I mean, it's huge. This Lake Argyle is just absolutely massive, and we're only going to see a tiny little slice of it, but already we're seeing people swimming, paddle boarding, plenty of boating and that sort of stuff, so keen to check it all out. How's this spot, hey?
I'm in love.
Not a bad view. Pool's a bit cold though. Oh, wow, we are lucky, hey? We managed to get a park at the boat ramp, right at the bottom of the boat ramp. So if you are coming here and you're hoping to launch a boat or anything like that, I would suggest getting here nice and early if you want to get a park. Otherwise you've got to get up and park all the way up the top of the hill on the road. But here we are.
What's my dance?
So we're going to get the paddle boards all pumped up, get our gear together, get sunscreened up, and go for a little paddle on Lake Argyle, see what it's all about. How's this pontoon out in Lake Argyle? We have had the best day here at Lake Argyle. What a beautiful spot. Definitely worth the detour off the highway. It's only about 30 kilometres off the highway, so if you're in the area, well worth making the trip down here to see it. We didn't have to stay the night. We saw plenty of the lake just paddling around on the stand-up paddleboards. It was beautiful. Anyway, this marks the end of our Western Australian adventures. We're sad. It's quite bittersweet, actually. We're going to really miss Western Australia. We absolutely love this place, but we've got a lot of adventures coming as we head into the Northern Territory. We're going to cross the border again tonight, and as of tomorrow, we're going to start our NT adventures. We've got heaps coming up: Darwin, Catherine, Kakadu, Litchfield, Mataranka, the list goes on. So be sure to hit the like and subscribe so that you don't miss a thing, and we'll see you in the Northern Territory. Dream Trip Oz, rock and roll.